my name is Katie. Today for Levy Park On Demand Storytime and Craft, I'm going to be reading Porcupine's Pie. Porcupine stopped to rest at the base of Squirrel's oak tree. "Squirrel," Porcupine called, "are you making your famous nut bread for Fall Fest Day?" Squirrel poked her head out of her nest. "No, it's just plain nuts for me this year. Bread needs flour and I have none." "Don't look so sad, Squirrel. I have flour to spare." Squirrel scampered down the tree trunk. "Really? Oh, thank you, Porcupine. The flour is in my pantry. Help yourself." Porcupine continued towards the river. When she waddled by Bear's cave, she called, "Bear, are you making your famous honey cake for Fall Feast Day?" Bear lifted his nose from a book. "No, it's just plain honey for me this year. Cakes need butter and I have none." "Butter, you say? How much do you need?" "Only half a stick." "I have butter back in my den. Help yourself." Bear dropped his book and nearly gave Porcupine a hug. "Thank you, Porcupine." As Porcupine neared the river, Dough's thicket came into view. "Dough," Porcupine called, "are you making your famous apple tart for Fall Feast Day?" Dough gracefully stepped out into the trail. "No, it's just plain apples for me this year. Tart needs sugar, and I have none." "I'd be happy to lend you some sugar. Help yourself." Dough's bright eyes widened. "Porcupine, thank you. You have made this a very special Fall Feast Day." At the river, Porcupine looked inside her pail. "Oh no," she gasped. Her pail was empty. And here's all the animals. Knock, knock, knock. "Porcupine, are you making your famous cranberry pie for Fall Feast Day?" "No," Porcupine answered. "It's just plain pie crust for me this year. I lost my cranberries and now I have none." She opened the door. Dough, Squirrel, and Bear had their famous culinary creations in one hand and offering in the other. "Leftover nuts," said Squirrel. "A dribble of honey," said Bear. "A few extra apples," said Dough. "And a handful of cranberries," said Bear. "I could just hug you," Porcupine beamed. "If I can't make my famous cranberry pie, there's nothing better than a festive friendship pie." The end. We hope you enjoyed Porcupine's Pie. I hope you stay tuned for a special Storytime Craft.
I hope you all enjoyed our book today, Porcupine's Pie. I really enjoyed it. Katie was so fun reading all about Porcupine and his friends. We are going to make our own porcupine today out of cotton swabs. So the items that we're going to need today are some cotton swabs, some glue, tape, scissors, a marker, and some paper. You're going to need a color for Porcupine's body. I personally chose some brown. And then a color for the background, I went with green today, just like Porcupine is here in the grass. All right, grab your supplies and meet me in a moment. So for today's porcupine craft that we're doing with some of these cotton swabs, I have all of my items and supplies ready here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this porcupine off to the side. The first thing we're going to start with is our background paper. I decided to go with green today because I thought it was kind of like Porcupine was outside walking around talking with all of his friends, getting some extra supplies for the fall feast. And the first thing that we're gonna do is grab our cotton swabs and we're gonna kind of lay them out, just like here, how we kind of have the top of porcupine spikes. So if I lay them out in this way, this is gonna serve as the top of my porcupine. So what I need to do from here is just grab some tape, and I'm gonna go ahead and tape them on my background before I get to work on Porcupine's body. Put some of this tape aside. So let me get a good stretch of tape here, and I'm gonna go ahead and start affixing Porcupine's spikes right here to my background. That's gonna keep them nice and secure and spiky, just like a porcupine. Gonna go ahead and lay those out. And the fun part about this craft is you can really make it your own. You can decide if you want like a super spiky porcupine, if you want one just with a couple. You can really add like a ton, which could make it look super, super cool. So I decided to do just a handful here. I have about 6 little porcupine spikes that'll serve as the back of my porcupine right here in the background. And next I'm gonna go ahead and work on Porcupine's body. So in order to make the body, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and make a bit of an oval shape. Honestly, it kind of looks like a potato, so let's just go with that. Let's make a potato-shaped body. And what you wanna do is you wanna lay it out over your spike so you know what size that you're looking for. So I want it a little bit wider than my spikes, which will be about the same size as the width of my paper. So I'm gonna grab my scissors here and go ahead and cut a potato-shaped body. Here we go. I loved hearing the story as Porcupine was trying to find items to cook for their famous pie and how it turned into something else based off of ingredients from its friends. What a great way to just shift gears and make something awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and put that to the side here, and I have a great potato-shaped body that's gonna go ahead and lay perfectly over my background, just like this. So before I affix it, I wanna go ahead and add some details to Porcupine. I know that I'm gonna wanna put some feet on here where her legs are. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and draw some feet. Excellent. And you can use a marker, pencils, crayons, whatever you have on hand to go ahead and draw those feet. And then I do like that Porcupine has a little bit of like smaller spikes all over its body, but then the biggest ones across his back, which we already have in place with these cotton swabs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and draw some tinier little spikes to showcase Porcupine's body here. This furry, needly landscape that makes up our little friend Porcupine. And then before we're done, I'm gonna go ahead and draw a little face, some eyes, eyebrows, so why not? A little pointy porcupine nose. And no porcupine is complete, especially not the one from our book, without a smile. So here is my porcupine body. I would love to see yours. I'm sure they look amazing. So you'll make sure that you share them when we're all done with this craft. But so, as you can see on my background here, I have the body in place, I have the feet, I have our spikes. So now what we need to do is just go ahead and glue her on. So I'm gonna flip over my porcupine body, and I'm gonna add glue. And you wanna make sure you add glue to the bottom and definitely get it glued in the middle. And then going along the edge here, and just get a little bit of glue all the way on top. You can go ahead and fill it in. And then I'm gonna flip it over and place it on my background. I'm gonna go ahead, and when I flip it, I'm gonna line it up with the feet that I drew already and just press it right on into the paper. And as you're pressing it down, you're gonna have a little bit of a pocket of where these awesome cotton swab spikes are. So you can just go ahead and press in to get all of that set. And now we have made the coolest cotton swab porcupine that I have ever seen. We would love to see pictures of your craft, so please feel free to share it with us, either on Facebook or on our social media. Send us a note, we'd love to see it. And follow us at Levy Park Houston on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then also visit us at levyparkhouston.org for more information about our programs and events. Thanks again for joining Family Storytime and Craft.